You ever have a friend that you stuck up for, supported for a long time? You done everything you could to support this person. And then, for whatever reason, they turn their back on you. Now, they need some help and you have the position to do it. Question is, would you? This is what's going on right now with current New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Eric Adams was a former Republican, but now he's a Democrat. And Eric Adams did not really want the migrant crisis in New York City. He felt that it would destroy New York.
This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City.
And as you know, Eric Adams and his regime all got indicted by the FBI. When the FBI indictment came, Eric Adams had a reason why he was being indicted.
New Yorkers know my story. They know where I come from. I have been fighting injustice my entire life. That fight has continued as your mayor. Despite our pleas, when the federal government did nothing as its broken immigration policies overloaded our shelter system with no relief, I put the people of New York before party and politics. Now, if I am charged, many may say I should resign because I cannot manage the city while fighting the case. I can also understand how everyday New Yorkers will be concerned that I cannot do my job while I face accusation. But I have been facing these lies for months.
Now, New York is a great state for Democrats, and Kamala Harris is running for president. And as it appears, she might need a lot of help. And Eric Adams should be campaigning for her presidency, but he isn't.
I'm dealing with running this amazing city of New York.
The presidential election is 2 weeks away, and Mayor Eric Adams says he is not going to be pushing out the vote for Vice President Kamala Harris. Governor Kathy Hochul, meanwhile, this past Friday, was on a bus tour in Michigan, even meeting up briefly with the vice president.
My ride or die crew.
Hochul also spent the weekend visiting crucial local House districts to push out the vote, and since January has raised more than $5 million for some of these races. We asked the mayor why he also has not been out campaigning for Harris.
Or whatever the campaign needs me to do, I'm willing to do, but I'm not campaigning here.
We asked the Harris campaign if they had requested the mayor's help to reach voters, but they did not respond by her deadline. In 2016, presidential candidate Hillary Clinton declined then Mayor Bill de Blasio's invitation to help her campaign. But de Blasio showed up in Iowa anyway to lend his support and knock on doors. Although Adams has endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris, there is tension between the two administrations. Adams has made it clear that he believes he is being persecuted by the Justice Department for pushing back against the Biden administration's border policies. And an unlikely ally in his corner, former President Donald Trump.
We were persecuted, Eric. I was persecuted, and so are you, Eric.
On this upcoming Sunday, Trump will be campaigning in Adams' backyard at Madison Square Garden. Adams, as of late, has been relatively silent on the election and was asked if he would disavow Trump's support.
New Yorkers need to hear the issues. And I'm just not going to get back and forth on comments that are made on both sides.
Since that didn't answer the question, we followed up.
He asked you point blank if you would disavow former President Donald Trump's support. To me, it didn't seem like you answered, and you said that there are problems on both sides. So I just wanted to give you a chance to answer here.
I answered point blank. People need to vote on these issues that are important. I can't even get any clearer of that.
Now, Eric Adams is saying that, hey, I've already vouched for her as a party, but I'm just sticking here in New York City. He feels slighted, but the reality is that the FBI, they have evidence allegedly against Eric Adams for years. Many people in his cabinet have resigned, and he wants to say that this is the reason why, because his own party turned on him and he spoke out against it. I don't necessarily know if that's true, But what it does show is a splintering within the Democratic Party. And they've had this problem in this party for a while. It started off even before Joe Biden wanted to run for president again. And the party was already showing splintering factions. And the reason is because things just don't work. And now you're seeing why things just don't work. And the reality is that this is going to hurt blacks. Why is it going to hurt blacks? Well, because if you want to have a lot of changes in the local level, it's good to have black politicians to do that. But what black politicians, what they have to understand is that they are scapegoats. So when something doesn't go right, they're going to be the first folks to be attacked. So when you have a migrant crisis and things like that, the best candidate you want to be the mayor, if I'm the Democrats, is somebody black. I'd rather put Brandon Johnson up there or Eric Adams up there. So when things go wrong, well, we have somebody to take the blame, and then we can go ahead and point to the incompetency of Black America and say that that's the reason why it's happening. Okay, you understand my drift? So when those things breeze over, we can put our candidate that we really want to be in to run these cities. And a lot of black politicians are going to suffer because of that. Eric Adams is going to suffer. Brandon Johnson is going to suffer, even though Brandon Johnson is a terrible mayor. And what you may never see again in some of these cities is a black mayor, especially in New York City. Now, Chicago is a little bit more black based, but Eric Adams, you know, this is what you get when you sleep with the enemy, bruh. You should have already knew this. Again, I believe that some of these things that these folks got on you, you actually did it. And instead of being accountable for it, you want to be mad. You shouldn't have voted for the Democrats or become a Democrat in the first place. That's the problem, right? Now you got to go head on and get that work. And now they've turned on you and you're going to be done in the party. For the fact that you're not supporting Kamala Harris right now to the point that you should be, and you're giving a little lukewarm support or endorsement, you're done, all right? When your ass go to jail, they're going to really throw the buck at you because they're going to remember this. And a lot of other black politicians need to take notes of if you want to be the mayor or the governor and things like this happen and who you getting into the beds with. Politics is a dirty game, all right? You might not want to go this route. There are other ways to change the communities that you want to live in and work in outside of politics, because politics is dirty and Eric Adams is finding that out now. So guys, it's another episode of Fair Use. I'm Ken Ganda, we're out.